When you don't get a title policy that's attached to your home when you become the new buyer, what's the biggest kind of setback that people can really have on that?
Well, you can have a seller or prior owners of the property that have like federal tax liens.
Mm-hmm.
There could have been somebody that filed some kind of an affidavit or a material man's lien against this property. There are a multitude of issues that can come up.
Welcome to the Real Estate of Texas with the Gals of the Hill Country, brought to you by Solid Realty Group in Boerne, Texas at solidrealtygroup.com. And now your hosts, Jessica Johnson and Callie Redd.
Hello, everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in today to the Real Estate of Texas, presented by Solid Realty Group. I'm Callie Redd, here with my business partner, Jessica Johnson.
Hi, everybody. We are upstairs at the beautiful 153 Main here at Richter's and enjoying this beautiful sunny morning. So we are so happy to have everybody here, and we're super excited for our Boerne Business Spotlight later today, too.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yes. And today our featured guest is Roberta Brown with Alamo Title, and she's going to tell us all about everything title. Welcome, Roberta, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. It is really an honor to be with two of the best real estate professionals in the state of Texas. I have known these ladies for a long, long time, and I've closed a lot of deals with them, and these are definitely the ladies you want to call if you have a real estate transaction that you need help with.
Yes, and we always need help getting our title insurance set up. So one of the big questions I think a lot of people always ask is why is it so expensive and what is it actually for?
Backing up just a tiny bit, you will definitely want to choose a title company that's been in business for a long time. One of the big title companies in the Boerne area, San Antonio area. Alamo Title has been in business longer than anybody. We've been in business for more than 100 years. And you have to remember that a title policy, it's going to ensure the buyer free and clear title. And we'll get into that just a little bit more in just a moment. But in this type of market where things are starting to get a little bit softer, you want to make sure that you choose a title company that is going to be around for the long haul. So if you have a claim 2 or 3 years from now, you want to make sure you're able to call the title company and actually file a claim. Some of the smaller title companies, might go by the wayside when this market softens up like it is. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Alamo Title is the #1 title company in the area, and we've got your back. What is title insurance? Title insurance is an indemnity agreement between the title company and the buyer. So basically, you choose your title company, and we are going to issue a title policy at the end of the closing. There's a lot of things that happen before the closing, but at the end of the closing, you're ultimately going to receive a owner's title policy. And what that does is it defends your rightful claim to legal ownership of the property.
So I guess for people that don't really understand title policy, I think my explanation is I kind of tell them it's like a background check. Like you're just checking to make sure that there's nothing attached to the home that the new people could potentially be responsible for, right?
That is correct. So when we get a contract, when we get a receipted contract, start the title policy process. We have an abstracting plant or a title plant. They do a complete search on the property, and they also search people that are in title. So it could be our current seller. It could be a few sellers back. But we're going to search, and we're looking for judgments, liens. We're looking for unpaid taxes. We're looking for defects in title. We're looking for incorrect documents. Sometimes documents have what's called Scrivener errors, which are basically just, a typing error. It could be a bad legal description or something like that. So we have to clear title in order to, of course, close the transaction and ultimately issue a title policy. So basically, this is going to protect the seller against, again, claims in their ownership of the policy. The seller has moved on after closing, so the buyer is the one that has the title policy and is insured by the title company. So, for example, if there are any kind of defects in the title, if there's something that comes up after closing that was not taken care of, and there could be all different, a whole range of different type of issues that can come up. You never want to buy a piece of property without purchasing title insurance. That is a very, very bad decision to purchase a piece of property without title insurance. And I'm not saying...
So when you say that, just so people understand, when you don't get a title policy that's attached to your home when you become the new buyer, what's the biggest kind of setback that people can really have on that?
Well, you can have a seller or prior owners of the property that have like federal tax liens.
Mm-hmm.
There could have been somebody that filed some kind of an affidavit or a material man's lien against this property. There are a multitude of issues that can come up. Buying a property without title insurance, you have a chance to be buying a brick, a property that you cannot sell, a property that you cannot refinance. Going through a title company is going to ensure that you've got free and clear title on that property, and that the title company is going to defend you if there is a claim against your property. And so basically, say for example, we do what's called an heirship affidavit. When there is somebody that's deceased in the chain of title and there is no probated will, we do what's called an heirship affidavit. We have to go through an attorney to prepare that document. I had one a couple of years ago, and the people filled out the information. There was 2 brothers that were selling a property. Their father was deceased. And they said, they're the only 2 children, and they filled out all the paperwork. We had the heirship affidavit prepared by an attorney. There has to be 2 disinterested parties that sign it. In other words, people that have known the family for a long time that can attest to the facts of the life of the deceased. So it was the family dentist that was one of the parties. Well, he'd known the family for like 30 years.
And he knew there was no wife out there somewhere?
Exactly. So she had deceased several years before, and she had a will, and it was probated. So it was only these 2 boys, the 2 sons, that were, going to be entitled and were going to be the heirs of the father's property. So we sent the heirship affidavit over to the dentist. He calls me, and he says, "What about the 2 girls?" And I said, "What 2 girls?" And he said, "This family adopted 2 girls. And so you have to list all the children, whether natural or adopted," and that was not listed in the questionnaire that we had sent out to the boys. So I immediately called the boy, and I said, what? Your dentist,
the one you gave
is
me,
snitching on you. What happened with these 2 girls? And he says, "Oh, I seem to remember there were 2 girls while I was growing up." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
I said, "Your parents adopted 2 girls, is that correct?" And he said, "Well, yeah, yeah, there were 2 girls." And so at that point, that's some false information, and that makes a title company very, very nervous. These are the kind of things that title companies protect against. So if you have an heirship affidavit that was filed on this property 10 years ago and there was false information, and all of a sudden, say one of the adopted girls came up, knocked on the door and said, "This was my dad's house.
Yeah.
I was supposed to get part of the money in the sale of the property," then boom, you've got a claim against the title company. You need to call the title company and file a claim, because we are going to defend you against that claim of your ownership of your property. So that's just one example. There are many, many examples. Taxes. There's taxes that have not been collected properly by a previous title company or in a previous transaction. All of a sudden, a buyer gets a bill for $7,000 or $8,000 in taxes, and they're going to give me a call and say, "What happened here?" And we're going to go back. We're most likely, if it was an error made previously, we're going to go ahead and pay it, and then we're going to go after the people that were supposed to pay it in the beginning. So we're going to take care of our buyer.
That's more like property taxes, though, not like a federal lien tax situation.
It can be a federal lien. It can be child support liens. It can be judgments. You never know what's out there until you do an actual title commitment, which is our search of the property, which you're going to receive that after the receipt of contract, and it's going to show you every single thing that is filed against that property with the county clerk's office. We're going to pull all the deed records, and we're going to search those thoroughly. If we see that the risk is too high, we're probably not going to be able to close it, unfortunately. If the seller is not able to cure title defects, then we might not have a closing. But just like Jessica and Callie, we are solution-oriented people, and we've got a plan A, B, C, and D for everything. And if it's at all possible, we're going to get that deal to close.
Mm-hmm. Just in case you're joining us on the show, we are talking with Miss Roberta Brown over at Alamo Title, and she's telling us why the title policies are so important for people when they transfer the house from one ownership to the other.
So tell us about something that you might see on a policy that as a buyer you might say, hey, I want to object to that. That's on the title that's on the disclosures that you send out, the title commitment.
Yeah, so on the title commitment, we're going to list all the title exceptions. So these are things that the title company will not insure. They're called exceptions because they're outside of the title policy coverage. And they could be easements, they could be pipeline easements, they can be setback lines, they can be encroachments. If you have a shed in the back and part of the shed goes over into the neighbor's property and goes over the property line, those are going to be things that we cannot insure. So you always want to obtain a survey, a very good, clear, legible survey that's somewhat current.
So you can't use the one from 1878 that you still have in your file box? Is that what you're saying, Roberta?
You know what? As I said, I am solution-oriented.
But you might not want to.
You might not want to.
Well, if it's a vacant piece of land and nothing has changed, then, we might be able to use an older survey like that. Of course. Sure. We're not here to cost people a whole bunch of money. By the way, the cost of a title policy is set by the Texas Department of Insurance, the state of Texas. Those policy fees are promulgated throughout the state of Texas. So no matter where you close, no matter what title company you close in, the title policy fee is going to be exactly the same. And we're not allowed to give discounts on the title policy. I had somebody ask me the other day if we could give a military discount. Unfortunately, that is a big no-no, and we can, of course, be fined. And so the only difference between one title company and another is, of course, the fact that our title company, Alamo Title, will be here for a long, long time, and will be here to protect you, for years to come. But the escrow fee and the level of customer service. Customer service is huge, and that's why, Jessica and Callie, they're big on customer service also. That's why we speak the same language. I think customer service is a dying art, and I love working with people who firmly believe in picking up the phone and talking to people. Let's communicate. Communication is the key, and having the correct information from the get-go on any given real estate transaction is going to be the key to a very smooth real estate transaction. And luckily, Solid Realty Group, these girls know what they're doing. These girls
Yeah,
are
but we
on
wouldn't know
top
what we were doing without the help of experts like you, Roberta, where we know that we can put our trust in that and understand that title policy is going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I've got another question for you. So maybe you can explain for all of our listeners out there a little bit of the difference between a special warranty deed and like a quick claim deed.
Oh, goodness gracious. You're going to make me get into a kind of a legal talk, and unfortunately, I've got to kind of back away from that.
Okay, you don't want to explain the differences in the type of deeds?
Well, we will insure a special warranty deed. We will insure a general warranty deed. We will insure a warranty deed with vendor's lien. The only kind of deed you absolutely want to stay away from in the state of Texas is a quit claim deed.
That's what I just asked you. Explain the difference between
a
warranty deed and a quick claim
away
deed.
from it.
Exactly. It is hot. It's
so what
on
is
fire.
a quick claim deed?
A quick claim deed is a deed that's used in other states besides Texas.
You see it sometimes, though. If you go to the CAD, you'll see it sometimes.
Yeah, people download them from the internet and they fill them out themselves without going through an attorney. An attorney needs to prepare legal documents. Anything that's going to be recorded at the county clerk deed records needs to be prepared by an attorney. Don't try to download your own deed and fill it out yourself. If you need to transfer title, give one of these girls a call or give a title company a call, and we're gonna turn you in the correct direction on how to get help with that.
So when I go if I'm looking at a property for a client and or if you're looking at a property as a consumer, and you can go, as we all know, to the appraisal district, and you can sort of see a history a little bit, the last 3 transactions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see on there a quick claim deed on the property, then what's going to happen when it comes to the title company to close again?
The title company is going to ask that deed be re-signed and refiled in most cases. In most cases. If the person...
But what if it was 3 transactions ago and the people who are now selling it don't know anything about anything? Then what happens?
That happens sometimes. And sometimes I have to run it up the chain to the state underwriter and, send them cookies, send them liquor, send them whatever I need to do, bribery. I am not above bribery. And say, hey, this person that signed the quitclaim deed is deceased, and we have absolutely no way to replace this deed. But quitclaim deeds are trouble, so please stay away from those. Please reach out to a professional, reach out to an attorney. If you do need to transfer title outside of a title company or outside of working with a realtor, say one family member to another, please contact a real estate attorney who can prepare that deed for you.
So, Roberta, if somebody has a question about title or they want to get some more information about maybe, we did a quick deed, how can they get in touch with you guys? How can they find out?
My office is located between Blanco and Stone Oak Parkway off of Loop 1604. It's called the Ventura Plaza office. We are the premier office in San Antonio, and you can give us a call. My number is 210-507-5416. Again, 210-507-5416. My name is Roberta, and I absolutely live, eat, and breathe escrow. I love my job. I love questions. I love helping people. And, anybody can give us a call at any time if you have any kind of question about escrow or title.
Perfect. So before we wrap up this and we get to our Boerne Business Spotlight later today with the Boerne Radio, is there any other pieces of advice Title wants to give people out there who are listening?
I just would recommend to people out there, get with a realtor who's experienced, get with a title company that's going to be around a while, and you're going to be taken care of. You're going to surround yourself with a great team, a great lender, great real estate team, great title company, and you're going to have a smooth transaction, because even if there is a hiccup, you probably will never know about it, because I'm going to be working hard with Solid Realty Group to, just smooth everything over. And we want it to be smooth. We want it to be easy. And I promise you a great experience if you come on over to Alamo Title. So thank you so much for having me here this morning.
We
Good
love
to
you,
see you,
Roberta.
as
It's always
always.
good to see you.
Thanks for coming over.
And stay with us, because coming up, as I said earlier, we're chatting with the Boerne Radio owner, Baron Wiley, who's throwing the big Boerne Halloween bash tonight. So stay tuned for some more information, guys. Thanks, Roberta. The real estate of Texas is always changing. Get a solid start to buying or selling a house with Solid Realty Group. Hey, y'all, I'm Jessica Johnson, co-owner of Solid Realty Group, Boerne's 5-star realtors, where we have saved our clients over $3 million. Given today's rising home values and interest rates, every penny counts. Call Solid Realty Group to buy or sell, and we can help you save more and stress less. Call us at 210-827-3733, solidrealtygroup.com.
Welcome back to the Real Estate of Texas. It's time for our Boerne Business Spotlight.
And every show we invite a local Boerne business to feature, and this week we are super excited.
It's kind of like, who are the people in your neighborhood, right?
Yes, and everybody on the show knows our next guest. He's so good at building community here in Boerne. He's got a big night tonight, so we just had to feature him on today's show.
Welcome, the
Welcome.
owner
Yeah.
of Boerne Radio.
That's me.
Yes, hi, Baron.
Baron
How are you
Wiley.
guys?
Good.
Imagine seeing you here.
Hey, I always want to let you know I appreciate you guys, how you guys give back and shine a light on Boerne, because we could brag on Boerne all day long.
We can.
And you do that. And I love how you always ask your guests there, what's their favorite thing about Boerne? It's just positive, wonderful, and again, the honeymoon is still on.
You're
Yes.
stealing our thunder. We didn't even get to ask you.
I know.
Well,
We asked him a couple months ago when we had him on the
ask
show.
him. Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, we'll still do it at the end.
We
you know.
will.
Are you guys coming? Can you come tonight to the party?
Tonight? Yeah.
Tonight, we're gonna be there.
I haven't decided on my costume yet, depending on how
I
cold
bet you
want
dressed
to be.
up pretty good.
Yeah, I got some rockin' red heels. I can be Little Red Riding Hood.
I got a whole closet full of costumes.
Do you?
Do you?
Maybe I'll come over.
I do. I literally do have a costume closet.
Like a trunk. I see a trunk in your place there.
No, I do. It's a whole closet.
She had
and,
a great sloth costume on the other day when we
What?
participated in the Boerne
Yeah.
Point 5K.
have
Yeah.
That's
costume.
fun. Have
Yes.
you ever won a costume contest there?
Oh, I
Kelly?
never enter a costume
How about
contest.
you?
so
No, I've
Come
never.
on.
I haven't entered a costume. No, I haven't.
All right.
I've
It's
never
fun,
entered
though.
Well, if
one.
you're a sloth, I've never seen a sloth costume before. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Grew
Oh,
your-
it was
Did
awesome.
you grow your nails out?
You
How'd
just
that work?
never know what's going to come out of the closet. It's like a magic school bus over there.
I love it.
She had a great time. Her husband dressed up. He was a banana.
Yeah, he had
Awesome.
never done, because I'm recently married, so he had never done the Boerne Point 5K. He's like, well, what are you wearing? So I pull out the sloth costume, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to have to go buy a costume. But yeah,
funny.
so tell us about tonight. What's going
There
on
it is.
tonight?
Oh,
with the,
there it is. Cool. Thanks for showing the picture there. You can't see that. You should post that. That's wonderful.
We did post it.
Oh, cool. Hey, tonight, we're at the Bevy Hotel. We've been planning this for, actually, we just kind of put it together, but it's a miracle that it's happening there. We've got 2 parties in one night, so starting from 5 to 7, it's just for the kids. We've got about 20 vendors lining the hallways of the Bevy Hotel, so safe trick-or-treating, if you will. You know, you come to the table, you hold out your bag, and they load you up.
And
then-
anybody's invited, correct?
well, you go to BoerneRadio.com.
Okay.
Tickets are $10 for the kids, but here's what you get.
Okay.
You get this great trick-or-treat experience. You go into the Bevy Ballroom, where you go through the little bouncy house to get there, and then Girl with Grit. We're calling them Ghoul with Grit this night.
Oh, Blythe.
A Blythe. They're all the girls built a kind of a haunted hallway with different scenes inside, so that'll
that's
be
fantastic.
super cool. Yeah. So it's
Tonight, 5 o'clock,
correct.
Bevy.
Tonight, 5 o'clock.
Be there.
Oh, be there.
And then after that, you roll into the ballroom, and we're going to do our own costume contest for the kids, and have some food for the kids, and and drinks, and just have a good time.
So-
Radio to buy your ticket.
Yeah, BoerneRadio.com, $10 a kid. Bring it on down.
Can you also buy
get-
a Methador?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let you in. And then after that, well, guys, we kick the kids out. And then
After 7, after they win the costume party.
Yeah. Congratulations, out you go. And now we're going to have some fun. So we're going to have an adult party, if you will. We're going to push in the bar.
There you go.
And we're going to have our own experience for the adults there, too. Again, a costume contest will be a lot of fun.
Starting at 5 o'clock at the Bevy today.
5 to 7. And then from after that, after we flip the room, new food, new bar.
But do we get to go through the bouncy house?
You do get to go through the
Okay,
bouncy house.
okay.
And you get to
Yay.
go through the haunted hallway if you want. That's
All right,
be a lot
perfect.
of fun. I think we're going to turn it up a couple notches there, too, as far as
You
the
never know
the
what's
scary
going to
stuff
happen.
goes.
All
Yeah.
right.
But your theme is
Save the Towers is
Save
what we're
the
calling it.
Tower.
It's the Boerne Radio Save the Tower Halloween Party. Yeah, so we've got a mission in this, in that running a business in Boerne, Texas takes money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then some things pop up that you don't expect.
Mm-hmm.
And so something popped up that we didn't expect. And so I bought the station in February, and as I'm looking through the files of the previous owner who had, I think I told you, and most people know, who passed away before
You got
I
access
got
to all
the
your stuff.
station, and I'm reading the papers, and I read a note from the FCC that says, okay, COVID's over, you need to move your tower back. And I go, what? The AM tower and the FM tower are in 2 different locations. And so when COVID hit, and everybody that was on the radio, they canceled their marketing.
Yeah.
And so previous owner George called the FCC and says, can I move my tower to one place so I can only pay rent on one place?
Yeah.
And they said, we approve because we love you, George, and you've been in business for 50 years. Go for it. And then they say, all right, COVID's over, now you need to move back. And I'm learning this out the hard way.
And you're not George.
And
You're
I'm not
not
George.
George.
And so I need to move a tower.
Okay.
And the original place that it was at before might not be available.
Oh.
So hi, we need, I don't know, might be $100,000 to go build this thing, and that's like not in the budget this year.
Yeah, no, my goodness.
So literally, like in Back to the Future and Save the Clock Tower, well, we
Yeah.
need to save the radio tower. So we're asking if you like Boerne Radio, if you love Boerne Radio, if you love, the community and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. We love Boerne Radio.
we do.
Well, then come
Fantastic.
on out, because not only will we have fun, and the tickets for that event is only $25, and for that you get all the above experiences there too, the food and the drink and all the good stuff. But we'll also have some auction items and an opportunity to get the brand new Boerne Radio hats and a T-shirt, and with
Absolutely.
your best gift you can walk away with a T-shirt. But we'll also have great prizes.
And
too.
it's just going to be a fun party. A fun
Yeah,
party to support Boerne Radio and boost Boerne businesses. I mean, you've got this other element that you do a lot. You do a lot of work for all of the businesses here in Boerne. So everybody come on out and enjoy a great party tonight, 5
Awesome.
o'clock.
Yes.
Hey,
7
one
o'clock
more thing
party.
too.
Yes, please.
We're gonna host a game show tonight as well. And so when you come in, if you want to participate, I'm gonna give out a little trivia questionnaire. You fill it
Okay.
out, and if you answer the questions right and you make a good contestant, you'll put your name in the bucket, and then we'll draw.
If you'll make a good
contestants.
contestant.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna pull the winners up on stage and have a game show up on there.
Oh,
the
my.
winner win a really nice prize.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Yes,
So it'll be
yes.
entertaining too.
Okay, what kind of game show? Is this going to be like the Price is Right kind of game show, or more like a
Whammy?
trivia?
Yeah. It'll be like a trivia fun,
Okay.
put you on the spot and see if you can name some famous people here.
Name some famous
yeah,
people
exactly.
here in
I
Boerne,
won't tell you. I
Texas.
won't spoil it. You can't do research, and you can't take your phone up with you, Callie, because I know how you are.
Yeah, I do like to research in advance. That's a
Yeah,
good
we'll find the
time.
answers that way. I'll just wing it.
Yeah. We have an Eventbrite page to sign up for, but again, the link's at BoerneRadio.com. Just go there, sign up, and we'll see you tonight.
Perfect.
excellent.
And if you can't sign up, just go on and like the Boerne Radio, and you can see the events that they're having, what they're doing, the things that are going on. And they're also really cool about their historical information. They've got some great videos up there about
More
the
coming.
old. Yeah. So, it's a great place to get a lot of resources and information. But we are so happy and thankful that our good friend, Mr. Barron here, came by today and, told us about what's going on tonight. So,
Thanks, guys.
yes, thank you so much.
Yes,
We
my
really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Real estate does not have to be stressful, folks. We can help you decide whether it's the right time to sell with a free market analysis on your existing home, or if you're looking to buy, we can talk to you about what options are available for you to maximize your investment.
Yes, that's right, guys. So give us a call at 210-827-3733 or go to our website, solidrealtygroup.com, and we look forward to chatting with you guys next week. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend.
Yes, see you
Yes,
tonight.
see you tonight.